Whilst mainly known for its thrill rides and entertainment, Universal Studios Florida has a number of quick service, table service, food court and other dining options available, so you may need a helping hand in deciding the best place to grab something tasty without straying too far from the attractions. Hi, I'm the Frugal Brit, and for this video I will outline my ranking of the top 5 best restaurants at Universal Studios Florida. Do keep in mind that this is a video for the Universal Studios Park only, so doesn't include CityWalk or Islands of Adventure, but I've previously made videos for these locations which I'll link to in the video description. Before we get to the restaurants, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on future guides, reviews and other Orlando vacation content. For the first entry in my ranking, we're headed to Hollywood for the tiny Central Park Crepes quick service cart, which opened in August 2020, specialising in both savoury and sweet made-to-order crepes. The small cart has a sort of French Art Nouveau theming, with vintage-looking posters advertising the menu items. There's also Coke Freestyle machines tucked away around the other side. All crepes are priced under $11, so $10.99 for the savoury crepes and $9.99 for the sweet crepes. There's an emphasis on seasonal ingredients, so the menu does change frequently. For savoury, I can recommend the smoked brisket, and for sweet, I'd go for the cookies and cream, but the lemon and blueberry is probably the most popular sweet crepe. Those that rate Central Park Crepes appreciate the variety of sweet and savoury fillings with quality ingredients, decent portion sizes, arguably one of the best value snack options. Whilst these are a very portable snack, it's usually fairly easy to find some seating nearby. It's hard not to love Central Park Crepes, however one reason you might want to avoid this is that the service isn't the quickest, as all crepes are made to order, so during busy days it can attract big lines. Also, I've heard that they don't always provide a plant-based vegan option, so can only give a tentative vegan rating for now. For number 4, we'll remain in the Hollywood section for the Today Cafe quick service restaurant, which opened in May 2019, located near the park's front gates, themed to the long-running NBC morning show, offering a variety of light breakfast, lunch and dinner options. This restaurant has a fairly understated theme, with an orange and black decor colour scheme against a white backdrop. Inside, the cafe serves baked goods, freshly made salads, tasty sandwiches and specialty coffees, which you can enjoy whilst viewing clips of the long-running NBC morning show. Its entrees, which apparently received contributions from the Today Show hosts, range between $9 and $14. Its pastries will cost around $5. Its highlights include the Bulls and the Bears platter and the Carnegie platter. Those that rate Today Cafe appreciate its unique and tasty menu items, a really good choice if you're looking for a healthier or different sort of quick service meal. Good value when compared to some other options. The coffee also deserves a mention here. Despite these positives, not the most inspiring theming, and unfortunately not always the best service from the quick service restaurant. I have heard of it being described as the Tomorrow Cafe in one disgruntled review that I read. Also, given how close it is to the entrance, you might prefer to choose somewhere like Breadbox over in CityWalk. For number 3, we have the first of only 2 table service restaurants that exist at Universal Studios, which is the nautical-themed Lombard Seafood Grille, specialising in seafood, previously known as Lombard's Landing, located at San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf on the main lagoon, serving lunch and dinner. This restaurant was opened back in 1990 and ever since has been the flagship restaurant on the waterfront. Its exterior replicates the buildings of the real-life San Francisco Fisherman's Wharf. Inside, the interior is themed around an 1880s laboratory inhabited by the fictitious marine biologist Louie Lombard, who built a saltwater aquarium at the centre of the building. Guests can choose to also eat outside on the patio overlooking the waterfront. Lombard's specialises in fried fish, fried shrimp and other assorted takes on seafood. The appetizers range between $8 and $12 and the entrees range between $16 and $33. The highlights include the New England clam chowder, the fisherman's basket and the mahi tacos. Those that rate Lombard's appreciate its impressive theming and ambience. It's very easy on the eye with great views from the waterfront, a good choice for a more relaxed meal. Pretty easy to get a table with the huge amount of seating available. This restaurant doesn't have the best reputation though with universal foodies, and part of that is because it's often sold as being a sort of signature table service restaurant, but doesn't quite live up to the hype in terms of quality, especially if we're to compare to the signature restaurants over at Disney World. But I would counter that it doesn't have signature restaurant pricing. You can get away with a pretty cheap meal here. So the Wharf Burger meal costs only $18 and the chicken burger is only $16. That's only $4 more than some street food tacos in Springfield. Overall, good restaurant. If you do choose to dine here with children, I'd recommend requesting a table near the aquarium. For my second best restaurant, it is time to travel over to Diagon Alley in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is of course the Leaky Cauldron quick service restaurant, frequented by members of the wizarding community, serving traditional British fare at breakfast, lunch and dinner. Unlike the source material, the Leaky Cauldron is not how you enter Diagon Alley. Instead, you'll enter from the London waterfront and the Leaky Cauldron is on your left-hand side. The interior is modelled after the grubby pub and inn from the movies, in particular Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Guests sit at dimly lit weathered tables, chairs and benches reminiscent of the long tables in the Great Hall of Hogwarts. Reservations are first come first served, but there are breakfast reservations exclusive to Harry Potter vacation packages, which I'll provide a link for in the video description. But I'm pretty confident you won't ever need a reservation. The breakfast entrees range between $13 and $18, and the dinner entrees range between $12 and $22. The highlights include the fish and chips, the cottage pie, the Guinness stew. You can also order all 3 varieties of butterbeer, as well as other Harry Potter themed beverages. Those that rate Leaky Cauldron appreciate the theming, the attention to detail is sufficiently faithful to the source material. The British cuisine is more authentic compared to the 3 broomsticks over at Islands of Adventure. It also handles the crowds a bit more efficiently. But for all that, the theming is weaker compared to the 3 broomsticks, not as much going on in this regard. Couple other reasons why you might want to dine somewhere else, or that this is not a good choice for fussy eaters. And as I've said in a few other videos I've made, the Wizarding World restaurants do understandably attract big crowds on a busy day at lunch. Expect wait times between 45 and 60 minutes. Overall, whilst not the most upscale food, it is better than most quick service options elsewhere, and it's hard to justify a trip to Universal Orlando without visiting a Wizarding World restaurant at least once, even if it's just for a butterbeer. So we're at the end of my ranking. If you've enjoyed it so far, it would be awesome if you could drop the video a like and subscribe for future videos. So the top spot for my best restaurant at Universal Studios Florida goes to the locals' favourite, the lively Irish-American themed Finnegans Bar and Grille table service restaurant, which opened back in 1990, serving hearty Irish fare, inspired by the 1978 movie The Brink's Job, located in the New York section right across the street from Revenge of the Mummy, serving lunch and dinner. This restaurant has 2 entrances, one on 5th Avenue, but there's also another around the corner on Delancey Street where the Blues Brothers show is held. The exterior blends in so well with the New York theming that it's often mistaken as one of the store facades. Inside, there's a full-service bar on your right-hand side and 2 large seating areas, all containing authentic Irish pub decor, with dark woods, walls adorned with vintage Guinness adverts, and Irish-American sports heroes. You'll enjoy festive Irish folk music with the occasional live performance. Finnegans offers a number of Irish-American options to pair with your favourite pint. Its menu has stayed largely true to the classics since it first opened, with Scotch eggs, bangers and mash, and pot pies. But if you're looking for something a bit more familiar, there's steaks, burgers and fries available. The appetizers range between $10 and $15, and the entrees range between $15 and $27. The highlights include the potato and onion web appetizer, which is thinly sliced potatoes and onions hand-dipped in batter. There's also the Guinness beef stew and the beer-battered fish and chips. Those that rate Finnegans appreciate its lively and friendly atmosphere, fantastic bar with the great cocktails and service, the best place for a beer break at Universal. I'd also recommend using this bar if you need to grab a quick cup of water when in New York. Finnegans is a pretty uncontroversial pick as the best restaurant in the park. It tops most people's ranking. Not many reasons why you'd want to avoid unless you'd prefer a restaurant that's quieter or one that has more familiar cuisine. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an awesome vacation whenever that is. Keep in mind that you don't have to dine with Universal Studios Florida. You can head over to CityWalk, which has much better options overall. Do check out my other videos for additional guides and reviews for Universal and Disney World. Lastly, for future Orlando vacation content, don't forget to subscribe.